probably clicked on this video thinking I was going to tell you how to scale your business to $10,000 a month, how to buy the Porsche you always wanted and be famous and all that stuff. But that's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that the life you really want is probably different than what you see on social media or what people in the external world value as success or a great life. I think number one, that starts with redefining success. So that's going to be my first point, redefining success. What does that mean? It means that a lot of times success is defined by external metrics in society of having a certain amount of money, having the right job, a crazy career, a really attractive partner, the nice house, the nice car, all these things, right? But when we really think about it, is that what we really want? Is that what really is going to make us happy? What ends up happening is you look at these people who have all these things, and sometimes they're most of the time, they're the most unhappy people in the world. So, well, you're probably thinking like, well, then what do I do? Like, how do I be successful if they can have all that and still not be happy? Like, what's the point? And that's where we kind of get into sitting with yourself and figuring out what success really means to you. If you don't have your own version of what success, and even, six-time Mr. Olympia Chris Bumstead talks about this. Like, for him, success is hitting his, goals of bodybuilding and then also like being a good dad and, being with his kid and stuff like that. So having your own version of success is really important. So how do we do that? So we do that by just shortcutting, instead of chasing after these things that we think will make us happy. So we give up, what happens is we give up the short-term happiness, what we could have right now, joy, peace, contentedness, to get things that we think will make us happy. So I'm gonna go work a 60-hour work week on a job I hate to make enough money so that the one day a week I'm off, I can go spend money on things that I think will make me happy. Why don't we just shortcut that, build the lifestyle that you want that will make you happy so that you don't have to sacrifice most of your time being unhappy just to have a little bit of time being happy. And now, yes, you may be stuck in a certain job and you might not be able to do this right away, but if you can, building a lifestyle that you can enjoy, at least for me, is much more successful than just outside and external metrics, because they may not be what you actually wanted. They're just things that you thought you wanted because everybody else tells you should go get them. So that's something you first have to sit, reflect, what does success look like for me? So for me, that's doing bodybuilding, having a good physique, exercising my body, taking care of my body, and then having an enjoyable life, having peace, a certain amount of peace in my life, not having too much obligation, being able to have the freedom and the lifestyle, my work, being a personal trainer. I can come and go when I want. I can cancel clients when I want. Not that I really do, but I can go on vacation when I want. I can wear gym clothes to work. That's literally my work clothes. So certain things like these that you want to consider when building a lifestyle, because at the end of the day, if you're spending most of your time miserable doing something just to make some money, is that really worth it? So that's first thing you have to do, is look at what is success to me and how can I build a lifestyle that supports that. So that's number one. So the second point would be, now that you've redefined what success looks like for you, let's make it a little bit more applicable to daily life. So I think that begins with creating a routine. So one thing you can think about is being process oriented instead of outcome oriented. One thing I used to do a lot, and what stopped me from even creating content for a while, is I was so concerned with external metrics of getting to 100,000 followers or getting onto a bodybuilding show or whatever it is, and stepping on stage and winning number one, and or getting to a certain weight in a cut, right? You're just trying to cut weight and you're like just super focused on, I'm gonna get to 160. And while that can be kind of motivating at first, it eventually becomes a negative thing because you're constantly not where you're trying to get to. And then the goalpost always moves. So once I got to 10,000 followers, I thought that would be enough, and it wasn't. And I felt like now I need 50,000. And I'm sure if I got to 50,000, it would have been 100,000 that I really needed. So you see what I'm saying? It was just this outcome chasing that became a negative habit loop, where instead we want to build process-oriented goals. What type of person, what would my day look like for me to have a good, enjoyable day, to feel like I was productive, to feel like I enjoyed my day, things like that. So for me, it looks like having a few different minimums. So I have a morning routine that I do, it's nothing crazy, just waking up around the 6 times. So the same time, 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. Boom, I have my meditation, which helps me ground and center myself for the day, remember what's really important. And then I may have, I just have my cup of coffee, and even just little things like that. Like my cup of coffee in the morning, I super enjoy that, and it's a big part of my day, and I wouldn't want to give that up. Reading a book with that, that's just a huge part of my day that I wouldn't want to give up. That already brings me a lot of joy. And that's something that's basically free, that I don't have to go chase and earn just to feel good, right? From there, it's just having a couple daily minimums. So making sure that I hit my workout, that I have a good workout, not just that I do it, but that I do my best to enjoy it and be present for it. Enjoy the meals that I'm eating and hit my calorie goals, and then do something productive for at least like an hour. So outside of maybe personal training, did I do something whether it was education based or editing or whatever, where I was engaging and stimulating and maybe creative work that really engaged my brain and made me feel like I was firing new neurons basically, right? So I think that's super important. And then did I have some downtime in the day? So did I even have like maybe 30 minutes where I was able to watch TV with my girlfriend, or play a video game, or whatever it is, go on a hike or whatever it is. I think having something for yourself where you're just doing it just to enjoy the activity because you enjoy it kind of centers you and grounds you and reminds you that like you don't want to put off all your happiness for the future, because then you get into a habit of talking about habits. You build a habit of always putting off your happiness for the future. Oh, I can't be happy. I got to I got to delay all my gratification and do a bunch of work until I get what I want, and then I can relax and be happy. But what that does is, you can see it with the rich people, it's never enough. Then they just keep working harder and harder to make more and more money. And it's not even about enjoying the money that they have. They just want to make more money, and they just are stuck in this habitual thing of, I need to work hard to get where I want to go, even though they're where they wanted to go 5 years ago, right? So creating a routine and a lifestyle, whether that's the job that you pick, the things you choose to do in your daily life that you enjoy, and that you can be content with doing for a long time. Because success, especially if you do have, I'm not telling you not to set external goals, because you should have goals as well. Like I do have goals to, help more people on my YouTube or my Instagram, to be an online trainer, to be a natural pro bodybuilder, but these are far off, and I understand that. And it's the person who can, this gets us into our third point, is contentedness. The person who can walk the path the furthest and the longest while being content with where they are now will achieve their goals more than anybody else. So again, if you're just focused on, I just want to be at this further away point and that's what's going to make me happy, it's going to be harder to achieve that. It's going to be easier when you hit sticking points or periods of very low motivation where you give up. But if you can create and build a lifestyle, for me, personal training, even though it's not the most money I'm going to make right now, just being an in-person trainer for $60 an hour or whatever, down the road, this is setting me up for, I can do this for years because I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting with people. I enjoy helping them. It's a low stress job. Again, I set my own hours. I wear what I want. All these things matter because then I can do this for a longer period of time while I build up, let's say, online coaching or maybe working towards owning a gym, whatever that is. I can walk that path longer because I enjoy where I am now anyway. So that is a huge skill. Not only, we don't want to think of it as a skill of like, this is just a skill to get where I want to go. And it's like, how can I use this skill? But it's just a skill. It's learning how to enjoy life. It's learning how to be content with where you are. And maybe, like I said, you hate your job. Okay, what can I do to feel at least content in the moment while I work towards finding a new situation? And then when you do find a new situation, choosing that job, not based off of solely how much it pays you, but also trying to find a job that correlates better with how can I enjoy the job? And like, is it something I'll enjoy doing? I can do this for a long time. It seems like a good fit. It seems conducive to my lifestyle and my values and goals. So really thinking about these things instead of just focusing on, to wrap it all together here, external goals and kind of, I guess, metrics that people set, like just making a bunch of money, having nice cars, having nice things, you know, having the family, all this stuff. Like, what do you really want, you know? And really, that takes a lot of reflection. So when we talk again about building a routine, having time for self-reflection, meditation is a great tool. Sitting with your thoughts, you know, journaling, all these things, reading books from old religious stuff or spiritual things, or even just people you look up to who you want to kind of be similar to, and read or consume their content, you know, find something that inspires you. Because at the end of the day, you want to create a lifestyle that you enjoy, not just that looks good on the outside, right? So I think that's one of the biggest things. So again, to wrap it up, you got to redefine success for you. You got to look at what that means. You got to create some type of routine, and then practice being content with that routine and content with your life, and practicing gratitude and just appreciation for being alive and the things that you have and the little things. You know, it's the little moments in life and the littlest things that bring the greatest joy. And the more that you can tap into that, instead of always being in your head thinking about what's the next great thing I can do, because then you're just stuck on a hamster wheel of trying to achieve. You're trying to achieve, and you never actually enjoy what you have. And that is a trap. And no matter how successful you may look on the outside, you'll never be fulfilled on the inside. If you can't be content with where you're at now, you'll never be content in the future, even if you have way more things, money, whatever it is. So remember that. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you liked this style of video and what I was talking about. Yeah, see y'all in the next one.